If you do not control your mind, something else will. Most people never notice when it happens. They think they are reacting naturally. They think their emotions are justified. But every reaction has a cost. Every uncontrolled emotion hands power away. You snap at words you should have ignored. You worry about things you cannot change. You replay moments that are already over. And slowly, without realizing it, your mind stops working for you. It starts working against you. This is not weakness. This is lack of discipline. And today, you are going to understand exactly how it happens, why it happens, and how Stoic philosophy trains the mind to remain steady. Not calm for a moment, but strong for a lifetime. Most people believe they are in control. They believe their thoughts are their own. Their reactions are justified. Their emotions are necessary. But look closer. They wake up already tense. They check their phone before they check themselves. They carry yesterday's anger into today. A comment decides their mood. A message steals their focus. A small inconvenience ruins their day. This is not awareness. This is conditioning. Their mind reacts before they think. Their body responds before they choose. And over time, reaction becomes identity. They say, "That is just how I am." But that is not who they are. That is what repetition has made them. And anything built by repetition can be rebuilt by discipline. The moment you see this clearly, you stop blaming the world. You stop waiting for calm. You begin training the only thing that matters: your response. Once you see this pattern, you begin to ask a harder question. If this is not who I am, then why does it feel impossible to change? Why do emotions take control so easily? Why does the mind resist discipline? This is where most people stop. They assume the problem is too deep, too personal, too powerful. But that belief is the real illusion. Most people believe their emotions are uncontrollable. They say, "This is just how I feel. This is just who I am." But feelings are not commands. They are signals. The illusion begins when you confuse the two. You feel anger, and you believe you must act on it. You feel fear, and you believe you must avoid discomfort. You feel anxiety, and you believe something is wrong with you. None of this is true. Emotions rise because the mind is untrained, not because they are stronger than you. If emotions were uncontrollable, no one would ever remain calm under pressure. No one would ever act against impulse. No one would ever choose discipline over comfort. But people do this every day, not because they are special, but because they trained. The real illusion is not emotion. It is the belief that you are powerless against it. This belief is convenient. It removes responsibility. It allows excuses to feel justified. But convenience always comes with a cost. Every time you say, "I cannot control this," you weaken the mind. You reinforce the habit of surrender. And habits shape identity. What you repeat, you become. The Stoics understood this clearly. They did not ask, "How do I feel?" They asked, "How should I respond?" One question leads to chaos. The other leads to control. The illusion breaks the moment you realize this. You were never meant to eliminate emotion. You were meant to govern it. And governance is not emotion. It is discipline. Once the illusion breaks, only one thing remains: responsibility. Not blame. Not guilt. Responsibility. No one is responsible for your mind but you. No one controls your reactions without permission. Every time you lose control, it is not because someone pushed you. It is because you stepped aside. You allowed the reaction. You allowed the emotion to lead. This is difficult to accept, Because responsibility removes excuses. You cannot blame your past. You cannot blame other people. You cannot blame circumstances. The moment you say, "I had no choice," you give up the only power you ever had. Choice does not disappear under pressure. It only reveals how trained you are. Pressure exposes discipline. It does not remove it. This is why responsibility is uncomfortable. Because it demands something from you. Every single day. It demands awareness before reaction. Pause before impulse. Control before expression. Most people avoid this. They prefer comfort over responsibility. But comfort creates weakness. And weakness creates dependence. The Stoics rejected this path. They understood that inner freedom has a price. That price is self-command. When you accept responsibility for your responses, you stop negotiating with emotions. You stop waiting for conditions to improve. You become the condition. And once that happens, nothing outside of you has authority over your state of mind. Stoic philosophy begins where excuses end. It does not ask how you feel. It asks what is within your control. You cannot control events. You cannot control other people. You cannot control outcomes. But you always control your response. This is not optimism. It is discipline. The Stoics trained the mind like a muscle. Not to avoid pain, but to remain steady within it. They understood that emotions will rise. That fear will appear. That anger will knock at the door. But none of these deserve authority. Authority belongs to reason, to judgment, to choice. This is why Stoic training is daily, not emotional, not motivational. Daily reflection, daily restraint, daily correction. Not because the world becomes kinder, but because the mind becomes stronger. The Stoics knew something modern life forgets. Inner peace is not fragile. It is built. Built through repetition. Built through discipline. Built through choosing response over reaction. This is the foundation. Not silence. Not detachment. Not numbness. But self-command. And when the mind is governed from within, nothing outside can rule it. When discipline replaces reaction, something shifts inside you. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. You begin to notice the pause between what happens and how you respond. That pause is small, but it changes everything. You no longer explode at words that once controlled you. You no longer chase thoughts that once drained you. You no longer surrender your energy to things that do not matter. Life does not slow down. The world does not become softer. But you stop being shaken by it. You conserve strength. You choose where attention goes. You decide what deserves a response. This is not emotional suppression. This is emotional mastery. You still feel anger. You still feel fear. You still feel pressure. But these emotions no longer command you. They inform you. And then you decide. Over time, this becomes your nature. Calm under pressure. Clear in chaos. Steady when others collapse. Not because you are different, but because you trained. This is what freedom looks like. Not escape. Not comfort. Control. And once you experience this, you never want to return to a mind that reacts without permission. You do not need to control the world. You only need to control yourself. That is where strength begins. That is where freedom lives. But mastery is not claimed once. It is earned daily. In the next video, you will learn how uncontrolled anger silently destroys discipline, and how Stoic training prevents it before it takes control. Stay here and continue the work. Mastery of the mind fails first at one place: anger. If you cannot control anger, you cannot control anything that follows. That is where the next battle begins.